make me happy. So happiness is inside. And after that, I am back to the chanting the mantra. It's again to the next time when my mind will be switched to other object.
Yes, you rightly recognized. You rightly recognized, if I say, the problem. So we understand that this is a problem. What is the problem?
The wandering mind.
The problem is hidden in the mind. Mind believes that by doing something, I will get out of this delusion. So it means I'm doing my professional activity, I missed something, and then I return by doing it, I return to the same state. So that is the one of the greatest severe problem in the life of a seeker. We find that journey of awakening as if it is to continue to do all the sadhana 24 by 7, then only I will get out. But whatever Master says, my suffering, my problems, my duality, my conflict is a problem of ignorance. You cannot remove the ignorance by any practice. It can only be removed, ignorance can only be removed by knowledge. Now you have reached to that point. So knowledge, okay, you are engaged in professional activities. So the knowledge is not there? Yes, it is there. Oh, so once you engage in any professional activities today, so do you forget all the principles? That is where it is very subtle. Very subtle. So our masters made it very simple. To become the higher level of it, to become a seeker, you have to do all the practices. So you have purified the mind. Your mind is very clear now that if I remove the ignorance, I will be awakened. So when the mind develops that faith, that belief, the entire journey is just nothing but a movement from the ignorance to the wisdom, ignorance to the knowledge, from suffering to self knowledge. Then you remain as a seeker all the time. Then this nitya karma is done based on the awareness. What is awareness? It is knowledge, it is understanding. Oh, professional. Thank you, Shiva. I'm doing your work. So the mind is still attached to that doership. Even I intellectually understand that, understand very subtle. Even I understand it is a nitya karma. But the mind says, oh, it is a nitya karma, but I have to do it. This I-ness must go. Otherwise, you continue doing the work, but I-ness must go. I-ness must go. So this I-ness is created by, remember the six enemies, the binding desire, greed, hesitation, delusion, pride. This is the I-ness. And the jealousy, the Nitya Karma, it is not that I am doing. The Nitya Karma means these activities has to be done. It belongs to the Shiva, so I'm doing it. So I give the responsibility mentally, intellectually to the Shiva. Why? Because Karma Yoga, whether it is a Nitya Karma, whether it is Naimitya Karma, or the entire journey of the Karma Yoga, 90% it is my knowledge inside my behavior and attitude, 10% is outer. Again, I'm stressing, just think, I have titled today's session Liberation Journey from Suffering to Self Knowledge. So, when I say I have a lot of suffering, and I first let me bring an end to the suffering, let me earn a lot of money so that will bring an end to the suffering, and then I will talk about the self knowledge. It will never happen. The very suffering is caused by my attachment and detachment. You cannot get rid of the detachment by practicing meditation, by understanding. Meditation will help you remove the doubt. I covered that in the practice of meditation last time. Twofold goal. First, it purifies the mind, and your doubt about the real self is gone forever. That is why we practice meditation. Just see that. Just close your eyes for observation. Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Now check the objection if there is any coming from the mind. Happiness for all. Our subtle ego raises an objection. Oh, let it be the happiness for me. I have to recognize it. How it comes by any thought in the mind. Otherwise, when I say let there be happiness for all, there is no objection. The mind will never be wandering. Happiness for all, it means the happiness everywhere, including me. Now, can I reach to a state of meditation where I can have a happiness for all? No. Meditation helps me to remove the doubt. Knowledge that happiness for all is a knowledge. That removes the ignorance. So, ignorance is removed by the knowledge. Karma Yoga and offering myself to the existence or a Shiva or the Krishna is a process by which I prepare the mind to remove the knowledge. So that is why I'm doing the Mangalacharan. Or you just say Om Namah Shivaya. So I see the Shiva, I visualize the Shiva, I think of the Shiva, I chant the mantra of the Shiva to replace my I-ness with the Shiva. You are the doer. I disown the responsibility of doing my business. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing, I'm doing everything. That is the Nitya Karma. And open your eyes, living into that. So now from there, our masters have laid down what they like. They're not just, why don't you take the life as a project? Business project, family project, personal. So life as a project is to bring an end to the suffering first, remove the suffering. Second is the attainment of the supreme happiness, or what is known as awakening. So it is does not mean that awakening is located in the heaven. No, it is located within me. But why I feel that it is located too far from me? Because I have to reach there. It means I have to make an effort. It means I have to do a lot of practices. It means I have to leave everything. No, I have to leave nothing outside. It is already inside. It is already inside me. We are understanding, we are going step by step and recognizing that where, in which area, in which compartment of my mind lies the problem. Just before your session, someone was talking about the busyness. I'm very busy. Another guy shared the experiences beautiful. I could not think in that way, but he thought. First thing, I am very busy. Can I eat the entire food in one go? No. I have to eat bite by bite. Can I finish going to the restroom in 1 second because I'm busy? I have to perform other activities. No. I had a session from 8 to 9, so I said, oh, I'm very busy. Let me complete the session from 7 to 8, and I'm finished. Not possible. When the session is at 9, 8 to 9, how can I finish the session from 7 to 8 because I'm busy? That is a delusion part. That makes me busy. Otherwise, as such, there is no busyness in life. Can I complete? I'm very busy. So, can I complete the session just in 1 minute? But this comes because of mind, because of ignorance, because of delusion, because of anxiety, because of reaction, because of the past impression. That I have to understand. So when I understand, this guy was now, this is my interpretation, but this guy said, oh, I am busy because one compartment of my mind is in a hurry. Second compartment of the mind is attached. Third compartment of the mind is seeking happiness. Fourth compartment wants to do these activities. So when I recognize the first three compartment is not required, at least I have to stay with you for an hour. Why should I be in a hurry? What it means by in a hurry? What it means by being busy? Beautifully. He narrated beautifully, and I said, I appreciate you. I never thought of like this. So, what happened to his mind? Two things. First, we are very clear that as such, there is no busyness. I added one more thing that, because we feel busy, add one more thing. I don't have a time to practice the journey of the self discovery. I have 24 hours to practice the journey of the self discovery. Then another guy who always says, Namaste, thank you, I am calm. I said, why don't you share your experiences? It means you are not contemplating and reflecting. You are just taking me and teaching for granted. And so you are not progressing. So I caught him. He said, Sir, now I have decided to close the door to practice meditation. I said, close your mind from the outer interference. Previously, he was doing the meditation to show to prove to his wife that I'm doing meditation. Hence, you should also do. So, my focus is on her. Hundreds of these kind of the thought makes me busy. Makes me busy. So I have to contemplate deeply to find out that yes, I have to find out, mind, where you are causing the problem to me. Now see, my busyness, my anxiety, my suffering, my mind believes it is situational. It is not internal. Situational means I'm with my wife, I'm with my profession, I'm driving. It is situational also. So one lady answered me, said, sir, when I'm going for a walk, I continue the mantra and sometimes it is habitual. Then I become conscious, then I do it again with awareness and I play with the mind and I'm very happy that I'm progressing. So walking is an activity, internal attitude is different. Profession is an activity, but I'm doing it for the sake of the Shiva. That will get rid your mind of the attachment. We have some doubt, but if I don't do the business, how I can earn? Business will continue. You are not born with this profession. And we will not take this profession at the end of the life. We have not, we did not come with anything. One guy was telling me, oh, I don't believe in the rebirth. I said, don't believe. What about your current birth? From where you have come? Did you choose it? Did you choose your birth as a human being? Tell me. Don't believe it. I also agree with you. Why should you believe it? Did you choose your birth to be having a particular gender? Did you choose your birth to be in a particular family? Did you choose your birth to be in a particular country? Did you choose what the now you didn't know anything? Do you believe that you are a human being? So don't tell me. Our masters put all the reasoning, right reasoning, and then they come up to this understanding that it is because of my past impressions that has given the birth of a human being. I think, is there any possibility if you say you are born as a human being by chance, so you also had a chance to be born as a mosquito? Believe in chance. But if you don't go to the cause, you simply believe it, you are living in ignorance. You have to apply the reason, cause and effect. That is how our masters understood that this is attachment. Attachment causes the pain, but the cause cannot be found. Why cause cannot be found? It is delusion. And hence attachment needs to be dropped. pain. You are not suffering at all. You are not worthy of your suffering, but you have created so much of ignorance. That is why you are suffering. So that is why we understand what exactly is the attachment. Raga. Why I am attached. How come? So I asked him that, are you attached to your wife? Yes, I am attached. Are you suffering? Yes, I am suffering. But I don't want to reflect on it. That let that beautiful girl remain as a beautiful girl. Let me remove the coat of attachment that I have put on her and then find out what happens to my anxiety and demand and the pleasure. It's already gone. These 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 removal of attachment will only happen by knowledge, by understanding. But mind will only understand when we purify the mind. So, in order to purify the mind by karma yoga and the upasana, I have to do a lot of practice. Practice is required, yes. Practice is not required, yes. That needs to be understood. So, I lose my awareness while doing the professional activity, practice is required. I don't lose my awareness, it belongs to the Shiva. I don't need the practice. Only the meditation will do. We are trying to understand these two. They look opposite. It appears a paradox logic that you need practice, you don't need a practice. But by default, if we continue to do the practice and introduce the knowledge into the practice in our personal, professional, social, family life, the life is good. How do you understand that? Look back, 10 years back. Pick up 5 problems that you had. Now reflect on those problems now. So after 10 years, you recognize those 10 problems are basically not problems. Are you understanding what I'm saying? There is no need. You see the knowledge, understanding? At that point, 10 years ago, there was a lot of problems. But now I see it is not a problem. It did not disappear because of the practice. It did disappear because of your experience. You learn from the experience. Oh, it is not a, it's casual. It's so simple. That helps me to become a seeker. I recognized 10 years ago I had a lot of stress because of this problem. But now, after 10 years, I don't see that issue is the problem. What the Eastern wisdom done? Eastern wisdom says compress this entire process of evolution. It should not take 10 years. It should take few days and a month so that you can rise above. Do you see it compresses your evolution? It makes you understand by the different words of attachment and delusion. This is what is happening. That is what is. Because I know if I start talking like J. Krishnamurti, it will not help you. It will give you a promise intellectually. Intellectually, it gives you. Oh, it has given you the process that I'm awakened, and the next day you wake up in the morning, you have a lot of challenge. That is what happens to J. Krishnamurti. Not many people have reached to that state. It has to be. That is why I strictly adhere to these teachings. So, what it means, 10 years example, it means 10 years ago there was a misidentification. Now there is a right understanding. That is what we are doing. That is what we are doing. Suffering is not situational, but it is born out of delusion and ignorance. Do you want to know? Do you want to remember that word? There is a great master who lived in perhaps in 11th century. So he was writing a commentary on the Upanishad or one book. His mind was totally inspired. He got married first day, and from the second day he started writing the book. It took him 2 years, and he forgot his wife. Forgot his wife. He was so much immersed in that. He completed, and after once he completed, then he recognized, and his wife was serving the food, taking care of him. Says, "Who are you, beautiful girl? I'm your wife." We are talking of that detachment. We are not talking that I have to struggle hard. I have to struggle. I have to fight with my attachment. I have to fight with my wife. Why you are causing me attachment? Why I'm telling you this story. Uh, what a beautiful thought he passed on. First in Hindi, pragya aparad dukkham. Sanskrit. Pragya aparad dukkham. Pragya aparad dukkham. Again, I'm repeating so that you should remember, but now I'm translating into English. You commit crime to your own intellect that causes the suffering. You commit crime to your own intellect because that intellect could not recognize delusion as a pleasure. So you are committing crime to your intellect. My honey, you give me the peace and happiness. Situational happiness. $1 million lying in the account, so I'm happy. So dollar contains the property of happiness. I'm committing crime to my intellect. We are not saying don't deposit that money into your account. Do you see what a beautiful sentence he made it? Pragya aparad dukkham. All the suffering comes because I commit crime to my intellect. There are many meanings: lack of thinking, lack of awareness, getting rid of, running after the world for seeking happiness, getting attached, having a delusion. All are crimes against the intellect. So when you commit the crime against the intellect becomes the offender, and that offender says delusion is right, attachment is right. Then you give a wrong logic. Should I not earn money and should I spend all the time in meditation? No, we are simply saying don't be busy. Always remain free. Don't commit crime to your intellect. Don't wear the glasses of delusion while living in the world. Live with the Nitya Karma, Karma Yoga. Remove those glasses. Are you getting it? Pragya aparad dukkham. took me a year to totally absorb this sentence. Pragya aparadha dukkham. No, I don't want to give you a lesson because I have an extreme pain in my knee. What the knee pain has to do with my speech? Pragya aparadha. Pragya aparadha. Yes, if I have a lot of problems in my lips and the tongue, obviously I cannot speak. I gave you one example. You can find 1 million examples every day. We commit crime to our intellect, we fall into delusion, we give hundreds of excuses, we lose awareness, there is a lack of awareness, we fall into ignorance. We have to remove this ignorance. I told you. I told you again and again, Eastern wisdom is 200% logical. Science is only 100%. Say a simple example. Why I should not become angry over you because you did this thing? This is also I'm committing a crime against the intellect. But yes, you did something wrong. How it causes the anger in me, I don't think. One reason. Second, because I depended on you to get this thing done, so I had an expectations. I don't think. I think on the surface. I asked you to do this thing and you did not do. So there is a genuine reason that I should be upset over you. So live in the upset all the time. That is known as dvesha, aversion. So should I not expect without binding desire? Not to the employees, no, to everyone. But remember, you have given this activity to be done by this person, whether one is a honey or etc. etc. But but binding desire should not be there. That is the nitya karma. Pulling. Now see that pragya aparad, crime against the intellect. So the mind has a binding desire. It either pulls, it push, or it imposes. Pull is your attachment, pushing is your detachment, imposing is your ego. That causes the delusion. Where I'm pulling, where I'm pushing, where I'm imposing on the event in the situation that is not permanent. So my mind thinks that it is permanent. Another crime against the intellect because I claim impermanent is permanent. What is changing is unchanging. Whether it is an event, a relationship, situation, whatever it is. I have $1 million, I have a big house, I have a big mansion, I have a beautiful car, I have a beautiful wife. Can you ask yourself what has changed inside because of all this? Except little comfort, little pleasure, little delusion. What other thing has really changed which appear permanent in you? And you will find there is nothing has changed. I am is still I am. Don't I have a doubt? Yes, I still carry with the doubt. Don't I have expectations? Yes, I still carry with the no, no, you have $1 million. Why you carry with the expectations now? You have a beautiful wife. One desire is fulfilled. But comes with the many sub desires with a beautiful wife or beautiful husband or $1 million or a beautiful home. The tap is not closing. Call the plumber. One desire is fulfilled. I have 1 million sub desires attached to that. Master says we have to understand this vicious circle. There is no true happiness. The permanent happiness is there is no permanent happiness in external seeking. The mind follows the external seeking in a situation, in a relationship with the people, in a thing, in achievement, in expectation, with the prestige, with the recognition. Happiness is not there. Master simply saying, keep on doing what you are doing, but remove that point. From where that point has come from the mind. And if the mind continues, it will commit the crime against the intellect. What is the crime against the intellect? Detachment, delusion, expectations, ego, I-ness. This you cannot remove by the practice of meditation. This can only be removed by ignorance, by understanding. Temporary period, you have practiced meditation for 1 hour, and yes, you feel very calm and relaxed. And just after an hour, those same past impression takes over your mind. So both are required. But Master used to say that all your experiences in the world is like a flowing water. It has come, it is gone. You cannot step into the same river again. You cannot duplicate what you experienced yesterday similar. There may be little difference. You cannot eat the same food. There must be little difference. It may be because the mood of your mind, the mode of your mind, the time, temperature, spices, new house will become old, new car will become old, new, we don't say, but new spouse becomes also old. We don't want to say it, but mind living into that pleasure, we always say that. That is always in the mind. Now, what to do? We have already lived. We have seen all the pleasures.
But our focus is function of mind.
Because we are living in ignorance, and ignorance lives in the mind, so I have to check, watch, observe, analyze, understand how the mind is behaving. Is the mind behaving to create a crime against the intellect? I have to stop it by understanding to get rid of it. So that is why our master, great master, says what he says. Atma vari drashtavya. Atma vari shrutavya. So that's a beautiful sentence. What it means that once you understand the entire journey of this mind, which is committing the crime against the intellect, intellect means knowledge, awareness. That is why, as a seeker, you have to listen and hear Shravanam. You have to contemplate and reflect. You have to practice meditation. It will not go easily. You remove one area of your attachment, second area of attachment will come. Second will go, the third will come. That is why satsang, listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, followed by the practice, should also continue until we reach to a state where we can live in the state of meditation 24 by 7. We are okay. You need not to do any practice. Throw away all the principles. You are already there. You travel 1000 miles from one place to the other with the help of the GPS and the car and the fuel, etc. Once you reach to the destination, all the car, GPS, and all the rest are just useless. You have already reached. We don't hang on with the same principles of the science again and again. The science cannot do without it. Science cannot drop it. Science has to reach there. Smartphone has a bug. So I have to go back to the same principle, how I created it, so that I can repair it. Now you don't need a repair. Why you don't need a repair? Because that real self is already present inside. Now you have recognized it. That real self does not depend on the processes of mind, body, intellect, ego. No, it is independent. Science has to rely on it. Every technique, I heard that HQ-9, that ballistic missile built by the China, fell without exploding in the Indian territory. And the scientist says that we will go for reverse engineering to understand how it explodes, so that we will make it useless next time. That process is hidden. But here the real self is beyond this process. The real self is beyond, transcend that process. So we are following all these processes and systems and the practices to reach there. Once we reach there, we find that it is independent. So because it is independent, throw away all the principles. We don't need that. That is what J. Krishnamurti did. That is what Buddha did. That is what Nisargadatta Maharaj did. That is why our many masters did. Yes. And there are others who strictly adhere to the same principles. That is also good.
In beginning of practice, we are doing effort to like concentration of our attention on the object. But then we have to be switched to the contemplation, as I understand.
Yes,
so
you're getting there.
When mind is became quiet, I have to wait in which thoughts is come, and then trying to contemplate why it's come.
You are reaching there. Today's session may be another step in your journey. You rightly picked up. Yes, even during the practice. What is that practice? Professional activity, not only meditation.
Yes, I understand that during the day I also should be on the distance on the thoughts and see how it come and why it's come, but it's still not working in me now.
Yes. You're looking at your wife. There's some incident took place yesterday. Your mind is already expecting and is full of reaction. You contemplate and reflect, get rid of the reaction, and you communicate with your wife. Done. So there you need a contemplation. You don't say to your wife, I had a lot of negative thought against you. Let me sit in meditation and then I will come back to you and talk to you. It will never go. It will never go. Yes, you rightly picked up. Today's session is the next point in your evolution. Yes, in every practice, not only the meditation practice, in all my activities, I have to follow the path of that contemplation and reflection to get my intellect, get rid of the crime. It is ready to commit because of the influence of the mind. And the mind contains all those past impressions. So thereby I am changing the mindset. I'm removing the ignorance of the mind. I'm removing the delusion of the mind. You can definitely relax your body by lying down, doing other activities. Yes, it is possible. We are talking of the that is another stepping stone in your life. Yes, I'm repeating it again for the sake of understanding. You are comfortable, I say being comfortable, you look at the neck joint and mind looks at the expectations from some others. There you need a contemplation before you return and you become comfortable. We don't do that. So when you don't do that, the mind repeats habitually the same thing and you repeat the practice habitually, which is stronger. You are creating more impressions habitually and impulsively even during the meditation. So meditation doesn't succeed. And the mind has the habit of either, let me leave on the entire journey. This is all a waste, waste of time and effort and the money. The mind goes to the extreme. That is the biggest crime against the intellect. So our master says, attend the knowledge of this self. If you don't follow this process of listening, learning, contemplation and reflection, then in the practice that contemplation reflection continues. You are sitting in your living room watching the TV and suddenly your mind reminds you of the reaction that you did yesterday against your wife, and now the wife passes. Now you say the wife triggered me that reaction. No, it is you are responsible. Your mind reminded you of the past yesterday event, and you had lot of expectation which was not fulfilled, and you created the reaction. Yes, the wife passing through the living room, cooking some food, doing some good to you, but you say the wife triggered me. There I need a contemplation. Mind what the heck you are doing it. You are watching the TV. Why the hell you switched on? And then you recognize it is because of the expectation and you contemplate and reflect. And you said, oh, it is because of my expectations. No, I demanded something more than she can give. Now see, another part. I demanded much more than she can give because of her physical, mental, emotional ability. You hire an employee who is expert in gardening and you push him. Why didn't you complete this software work? His limitation is gardening. He cannot do it. So expectations of my spouse, I know I have understood the limitation. He or she can do until this much, but I'm still over expecting. So it is a crime. I am committing the crime against my intellect. I am creating more ignorance. I am suffering. So that suffering belongs to me. I'm not worthy of this suffering. If I remove the crime against the intellect, there is no suffering at all. Again, very be clear. We are not talking the binding desire. We are unbinding desire will continue. You can have an unbinding desire to earn $1 million. Yes.
But
But it
how
means
come it's not desire if it's not bonding?
the unbinding desire so simple. I will do my best. If I don't get, I'm not hurt. If I get it, I will not boost my ego. That is unbinding desire. I will not go back to the enemies of the mind. That is why it is unbinding desire, my friend. Motivation, emotions, everything is with it. Minus, if I get it, I'll not have a big ego. If I don't get it, I'm not frustrated. I'm not agitated. My mind remains steady. That is what the Gita says. You should have a steady intellect. Why you should have a steady intellect? Because I cannot control every condition of the world outside. Go to the root cause. Yes, I had the inspiration, I had the motivation, I had the intelligence, I had the project. I carried forward, I implemented it, but I don't have a total control over every situation in the world. Can I say you are my customer? So first I changed the mind of a customer. I said, my customer, you change your mindset. So what mindset I should change? You must buy my product which cost $100, but my production cost is $1. Do you first teach your customer like this? So outer situation is different. So I recognize it. So I'm not stressed. I'm not frustrated. If I don't get it, I continue my effort. That is unbinding desire. Are you clear?
Uh, Intellectually, yes. I understand that it should happen. It's not should be my achievement, but it should happen by natural way. Happen or not happen.
Happen or do not happen. I have a
But
desire to reach to your house in 1 hour. Sometime it is 1.5 hours. I say, no, I became late. We take it casually. Why you take it casually here? Why don't you take your achievement of $1 million casually? Uh, I used to reach every client's home 10 minutes before, and ultimately couple of those students are motivated. They have started becoming ready 10 minutes before. Did I benefit them? Answer is yes. So is it a binding desire? No. I happily reach to you 10 minutes before. You pay me only for 1 hour. Is it a binding desire? No. Primary motivation is to rise in awareness. secondary motivation, maybe money, profit, etc. That will work. So be very clear. Secondary motivation is money, but the primary motive is excellence, is rise in awareness, uh, not committing the crime against the intellect, is unbinding desire. I gave you an example. You go to the doctor, he says, here is a report. He does not say, here is a complaint. Inner attitude has to change. Huh? I have
Yeah.
lot of complaint against you. You will say, I will never come to you, doctor. You see that? Just think of this. Just change a word and everything makes sense. So
But in the real situation, for me, it's really the challenge.
I have. This is a real life situation. You have to apply these steps mentally, internally into a real life situation. Is the medical report is not a real life situation?
Yeah, it's a real situation.
No, no. If you don't control your diet, it will be very serious. You will die. So I have a fear of death. I take care of everything. I don't say that it is not a real life situation. Yes, it is. Yesterday I went to there and doctor said, okay, you will have. Oh, now I'm just implanting your one tooth and you'll be happy, yeah, for another 50 years. I said, who is going to live for 50 years? This is already 67. The lifespan is another 15 years, and you are talking to me 50 years. It is a false promise. But I can appreciate you because you are a young doctor. You should say like this.
But I play in ping pong few times per week.
Uh,
I am playing in ping pong
yeah,
in few times a week, and I always catch myself. Then I so much want to win that my hand making a wrong movement, and I fail, and I still cannot catch the moment when my hand starting to move. So it's automatically
habitual,
uh,
binding,
habitual. Yeah, I am do it
binding
too
desire.
much.
You understood it. You have to
Yeah,
contemplate in
I
every
always
situation.
try to catch moment when my